Okay, hey, welcome back. Here's the friendly neighborhood Enderman, or Frienderman, if you will. And today I've got a little tutorial on the lovely little beast you see back there, a cactus farm. So, for a while, cactus farms weren't even a necessary thing. You know, you get a couple of dyes and you were probably set for life. You dye a sheep, you get green wool. You dye your dog's collar, and then cactuses were practically useless. You could use cactus for defense, but, you know, why? So, cactus farms weren't really all that necessary, but now that the new update has come in, we have this lovely stained glass. Lovely is the word of the day, by the way. Now that we've got stained glass and everything like that, you know, cactus has a bit more versatility, and when it comes to stained clay and things like that, that's until mesa biomes come in, well, we're going to need some green. So, well, today I'm going to teach you how to do this pretty cost-effective Jesus Christ, get in the air. This little cost-effective thing, and yeah, so I'm just going to get over here to the green board, and we're going to point out a couple of things of interest. Can't be planted on anything but sand. Can't be placed directly beside anything else. If it is, well, you just can't do it. The great thing is, if it grows one block up or 2 blocks up, you know, depending on the height of the block that it intersects with, it'll break from the parent. So let's come back over here and let's see exactly how this is built. You got the parent cactus here, growing on the sand, hovering over nothing, you know, Minecraft, why you know physics. Then we have this fence post there, and that might seem completely unnecessary, except for the fact that once that grows, actually you could, if I had been looking up, you could have seen it right there. If the cactus grows just one more up, it intersects with that, it breaks, and then it comes down into here. And this has been going for a little bit over an hour, maybe an hour 15, hour 20. And it's already got 2 stacks, so this is a pretty good thing. Now, it's auto-harvesting. That means that you get convenience, but there is a price. There's no such thing as a no-waste auto-harvester. Now, I want you to remember that, because once cactus breaks, well, it can fall in any direction, including popping up and then immediately falling back onto its parent. Actually, you literally... No? Okay, there it is. Cactus can break up and then fall directly onto its parent, or it can fall onto the one below, and that's a wasted cactus. It also has the chance of falling onto one of these pegs, and I know I keep calling them pegs, but you know that they're fence posts. The problem with that is, of course, that it gets stuck. There is a certain amount of waste that goes into this. You just have to expect it. So there is no such thing as a no-waste auto-harvester. It's unavoidable. Now, there's a few things that you can do. Now, if you look at this, you'll see that these pegs aren't every single one. You could have a peg here, 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 and here. But the only 2 that are actually needed are here and here. That's because this peg pops these 2 off, and this peg pops these 2 off. So you could go the route of having all of these other fence posts in there, but they're really unnecessary. They're superfluous. That's what I get for trying to use a good word. And actually, I think you may have just seen the waste there. It popped back off onto itself. No, okay, I'm literally never going to be right about this, and the game knows that. Earlier, it was doing it almost 100% of the time, but it seems once the system warms up a little bit, no? Okay, there we go. That one broke off, and it destroyed itself, so you got some suicidal cactus up in here. But, okay, so I think that's really enough talking. I mean, you kind of get the gist of the system. These are the materials that we're going to be using. Now, the reason why I'm using iron, you don't have to use iron. Before I get any comments that ask, do I have to use iron? No, you don't have to use iron, but look. These clear, nice edges, that's the reason why I'm going to use iron. So if for whatever reason you need to pause the video and take a measurement or something like that, you can actually see that, you know, you can count by the edges. Look at the wood, like you can kind of tell, but you really have to guess. The glass is a lot easier, but things with clean edges are nice, and I forgot I'm in survival with host privileges, but you know, things with clean edges are so much easier to count. So that's why we're going to do that. Now, we're going to start off with just this stuff for now. and then we'll come back for the rest later. In survival, you're going to have to realize you're going to need to throw in a couple of stacks of dirt too. You're going to need scaffolding to get around here, but this is possible in survival. It's just not easy, so, you know, there's that. This system is 12 tall by 11 square all the way around. So we're going to start this right here just so that we can go back over and sort of reference. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you pretty much just do this on all sides. Now I'm just going to cut the video here and I'm going to fill it in, and then I'm going to be back once I'm done. Okay, so we're back and I've got the base taken care of, and now we're going to go 12 up. Now 12 does count these end blocks here, so technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See? Meets right up with that. And again, I'm going to cut the video because we're just going to do the whole thing around, and then you're going to connect up the edges so that you just form a big hollow box. So I'll be right back after I finish doing that. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. Now, this video is really going to be a lot of jump cuts because most of this is just repetitive work. You can kind of get a glimpse of that just by looking around at the whole thing, but we're going to fill in 3 sides with glass. This front side, we're going to leave that alone, but we're going to fill in this side, and this side, just straight to the top with glass. And the building materials that you use, that's entirely up to you. So if you're going to use a different colored glass, then choose a different colored glass. If you're going to do wood or anything else, I really don't suggest doing this out of iron. The cost would be absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason to do that in survival. But you can choose whatever building materials you want. This is just for the sake of clarity and, you know, just kind of matching everything up. So, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and fill these in, and I'll be back once I'm done. Alright, so again, I'm back, and you can fill in the top. I'm not going to really take the time to do that, but this is the finished product. I'm not going to bother filling in the top because it's really pointless. But now we're going to get on to why I have this gold block. The gold block is going to help you guys figure out where it is you're supposed to start these fence posts. So you can see that these breaking posts, they're 2 in from here. So 1, 2, and then on the 3rd. Then from this side, 1, 2, and then on the 3rd. So we're going to just go ahead and ring that whole thing, just so that you'll be able to tell which one. So 1, 2, and on the 3rd. And you don't have to break your own glass. Don't worry about actually doing what I'm doing. This is just to show you guys where you're supposed to do it. So technically, you just skip 2 in the middle, but this is just the way I'm going to do it to help you guys figure it out. And I'm just going to do it on that one side, because from there, we're just going to take the fence post straight over. Since I'm in creative, I'm just going to be like this. But if you don't have a ton of fence posts and you want to be able to save them, then just get a block of dirt, and then that, and then that, and then that. So, okay, so initially when I was recording this, I goofed and I did everything wrong. So I just decided to cut all of that off, and we're just going to start from where I put these in. Now, those are still right. That's still where you're going to put the pegs. I just kind of goofed and I had it too close. So you're going to skip this block down. This is where, you know, your ceiling would be. Let me just get this. Easier to build. That's where your ceiling will be. You skip 1 down and then 1 out. And if you're in survival, you know, you'd probably put a dirt block or something there. But since I'm not in survival, I don't need to worry about that. We're just going to come straight across, and it doesn't connect over here. So you punch out that. No, not that one. That, and that. These are your breaking pegs, I guess. These are your harvesters, or whatever you really want to call them. So, again, we're just going to do the same thing. Break, break. No. Break, break, break. Right. Oh, actually, I did do it right, and I completely misjudged myself. Now you're just going to do the same thing below, and we'll get to the measurements for that. But now we're going to put in the cactus pegs. The cactus pegs, sometimes the spacing for that can seem tricky, but here's the thing to remember. Oh, right, I'm not in survival. Haha, no. Baby cactus will grow here, then down one is going to be mama cactus, sand, and then peg. So you're going to put peg here. You obviously can't have it near the wall because, well, we've gone over that. Excuse me. And we're going to grab this just to go ahead and show that that's the right placement and make sure I didn't make another goof. Right, okay. And we're going to go back basically the same way. Well, once you get the first set kind of spaced in, it's easy to get the rest. Just poke, poke, and poke. Pardon me again. What are you doing? Then you don't have to worry about bringing it all the way over to the side, so that's another good thing. And poke, poke, and poke, and then around. Poke, poke, and poke, and then you just come over. So I'm going to go ahead and fill all of these in. I'll do this row just to kind of show you, but it's really just repetitive work. Oh, no, it's already done. I'm not going to go ahead and jump cut for that. And in survival, I would really suggest putting in the cactus, the everything at this stage, like I'm about to do, because it's kind of a pain in the ass getting back up here once you've already gotten down to the next stage and everything. So I'm gonna just toss this in real quick, and once I get the cactus done, I'll go ahead and cut back. Alright, so the first set's in. Everything's all good. Now you're going to come down. Now the spacing is the exact same for the top, which is why I'm not really going to show this whole thing. But your breaking peg, that's going to be right here. And right here. Then, of course, same thing. You come all the way over. And there. And you're just going to do the same thing. So, air block for baby cactus, mama cactus, sand, peg. And I'm going to go ahead and cut here. I'm going to come back once this is all filled in and the cactus is all planted. If you really need to see how this was done, then just, go back and check it, and it should be fine. But we're just going to go ahead and cut, and I'll see you when I get all of this done. Alright, so we've got all of that planted. All of this is done. Like, literally, this farm is pretty much done, aside from a few things. We're going to go over here, and I think I explained earlier, but the ice, that's completely optional. You can just harvest that with Silk Touch, place it down, break it by hand, and it creates water. But if you're going to do the water bucket method, that's perfectly fine too. We've got white carpet and hoppers, and of course we have this and that, which I'll explain the stairs in a bit. You can kind of see the reason why the hoppers don't show, and actually, am I locked out? No? Okay. The hoppers don't show just because I've got the brown carpet there, so at a glance you don't really even notice them. I think, actually, by this point you can go ahead and put in the water. If you're in survival, every other block will create these water sources, just straight down, but okay. Right here, this is where your line of hoppers is going to be. You've already got one piece of cactus grown, so. And then this is going to be where your right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be where you throw your chest down. But not literally. We're gonna have to get out of fly here. Crouch, crouch, then feed these into it. Now, you can't really see very well, but these hoppers, here, these hoppers need to be pointing into one another. So, this hopper comes out. Let's take these out so you can see. And this hopper. Now, these hoppers need to be feeding into that one, which feeds into this one, which feeds into your chest. And then throw these back down, as they really didn't need to come up to begin with. Actually, may have, no, okay. In order to put anything down on here, this is a completely optional step, but if you really want things to look nice and not so mechanical, it comes right through here. Oh, shoot. The cactus will come right through, so I'll show you. It gets sucked right up under the carpet, so that's a neat little trick you can keep in mind. And the reason why we have this is, first we're going to go ahead and here, and here. Now, for those who don't know this trick, you know, this is going to come as a surprise, but this looks like a solid block, but it's not. It's a stair. So, if I can get up here, you come back here. You don't need to crouch, but, and like that. And it looks like a solid block, but you can still open it. So you can put glass on top of it if you want to, because you can open chests through glass, but that's up to you. And then you basically just fill in the rest of this with glass, and your system is done. This is fully functional now. It has been ever since I put in the cactus. It may not have been fully functional exactly to collect it, but it's been functional to actually harvest it. And after a little while, you're going to see this fill up. If you remember, we weren't quite on two full stacks. Now we're on 2.5 over here. So the system works fairly modestly fast, I guess. There's just a couple of more things to remember. You can't do this system any further back without tiling up. So if you wanted to make this further back, you would have to come up one step here, so that the water falls down that way. And then you could make this really neat staircase sort of design if you wanted to, but for a compact sort of system, this output, it's not bad. It's pretty modest. It won't give you more than you need, but it should give you just about enough, especially if you stay in the area to make sure that it runs, the chunks are loaded and all of that. So just whatever material that you're using, go ahead and fill this back in, or fill this in to begin with, and your system is done, fully functional, and you are ready to start harvesting your cactus en masse. Of course, let me just point out, you can lengthen this system. I decided to go with a really compact version, but you can make this as long as you want. As long as the materials that you have hold up, you could just make this for just forever. And it still works just the same. You're going to be spending a ton on iron. You could actually save on iron. If you make this longer, you put a water stream at each end that meets into one hopper. But if you're just doing a compact system, probably just a few hoppers aren't going to break your bank. You can take this all the way up into the sky, all the way down to bedrock. I can't imagine why you would need that much cactus green in your life, or that much cactus to begin with, but you know, hey, whatever you want the cactus for, this is going to give you a pretty ample supply. So already we've got a good bit. 8's good to start with, but once a couple of hours rolls around, you know, you're gonna have a pretty good bit. But you know, you can go as far as you want, as tall as you want. Just make sure that if you're not going to do a tiered system, you keep it just 8 deep, or so, just until the water can run onto here. And yeah, that's really all there is to show for this. Hopefully this helps a few people out. I would love to know what you think. And if you liked it, if it helped you out, go ahead and hit that like button, share it with your friends, do whatever. I'm sure a lot of other people have made these cactus farm tutorials before, but this is just my personal favorite, and I thought I'd share it. So it's time for me to say goodbye. I would like to thank you for visiting your friendly neighborhood Enderman, and remember, Endermen love you. They just want to give you hugs. They just don't understand how. Bye.